So next point that I would like to talk about is enemy. So when we think about enemy, uh, the person that I don't like, or the person I feel like maybe we are having not, the understanding each other clearly, and maybe there is some kind of, the difference thought, attitude, way of thinking, a tradition, or it can be like the background or knowledge. Then we come up, okay, since this person is not listening to me, or this person is like uh, not really going with the way how I'm thinking, then he is enemy. In other words, what we take is like, uh, I don't like this person for several reasons, and sometimes we happen to think like this. Okay, this person is, the behaving, or this person is doing so. In other words, this enemy is not only my enemies, okay, but he is the enemy of my children, he is the enemy of my daughter, he is the enemy of my so-called relatives. In other words, we say, okay, this person, or this enemy is actually never wished something good for myself, and he or she will never wish something good for my son, my family, and my relatives. So we come to such a conclusion where we think like an enemy is not the enemy only to me, but to the people around me. The boss point is that we think not only that, we also think like further, like, well, maybe this person is really is not a good person, or maybe this person is really a kind of enemy in my previous days, previous month, previous years. And sometimes as a traditional Buddhist, you may thinking like, he was my enemy in the past life, so he's the enemy in this life, and he will continue. And of course, when we talk about these in the karma and kammapala, there's a difference thing we need to talk about. Because why? Yes, in the karma theory, it happens sometimes like that way. Because there is something called like how you are thinking, okay, how you taking the person, or how you dealing with the people. Most of the time, maybe there will with you throughout the samsara. Now, if you remember what we have discussed in Anumatagga of Sanyutta Nikaya, so our samsara life, okay, according to Buddhism, samsara life is endless, and within this endless, there is so many, the mother, father, sister, brother that we have in the past, okay, and if we cannot end our samsara in this life, so we will have in the future, okay. So indeed, within this endless samsara, we had many mothers, fathers, sister, brothers, siblings, and the colleagues. In the same ways, we also had many enemies. So enemies, what I'm referring is like the people who are not matching the same ideas, same attitudes, same traditions, or maybe not friendly, then we consider them as the enemy. So remember, Buddha said, now if you continue thinking like that, okay, continue thinking like what? Like this person is enemy. Okay, this is my enemy. He was my enemy. He is my enemy now, and he will continue being my enemy. Actually, that is endless. So that's why Buddha said in Dhammapada, Nahi verena verani sammanti the kudhachanang averenecha sammanti esadamo sananta. What does it means? If I translate this in very general way, it's like the hatred never ends with hatred. The hatred ends with loving kindness. If I see there is a person who is really not matching, or there is a person having a kind of different ideas, perception, traditions, and there is seems like we have a difficult to go with them, so we don't have to consider them as enemies. maybe we need to be a little bit kind and compassion in ourselves. Maybe this person or that person don't know or not having an idea what is going on around him, is maybe lack of support. Somebody should approach him and help him to explain this. So once we explain, who knows, maybe they will very accept, they will welcome you to do, to accept such things if you really say the kindness. And again, when we talk about the kindness, when we explain something to the someone, we should explain the things kindly, not like in a complaint way, not in like the judging them. It's not like that. You did the wrong, you are the person, you're not listening, so it's over. It's not like that. In Buddhism, if you real a good person, so called, if you want to either become the bodhisattva, or if you want to either become the arahant, the most ways or the both ways, you have to become the good human. Then what the good human, the good human approach is, you approach them with kindness, compassion. You tell, you try to explain the things. So who knows, maybe there will be like very welcoming, you know, welcoming your ideas. Maybe they will accept it. They will realize maybe. So being kind, trying to help them, then if really the cause and condition match together, so you will see the end of such enemy thoughts. So this is what the Buddha said. This is how the hatred or war or anger or any kind of disagreements ends. So that is the loving kindness, explanation, kindness, compassion. So understanding each other's in the Dhamma way. So this is the so called the ancient philosophy, ancient wisdom. Okay. Otherwise, there is no end of this kind of attitudes. So that's why we have to be very careful that we must end today's the so-called this kind of the attitude thinking like people are, or this person, that person, or people coming from that region, that that country, that specific area, or that clan, or different tradition. I mean, we should not have any clash between that, because uh, at the end we all are the human beings. At the end we all are the human beings, and the human, the good real nature or the good characteristic of the human being is not animal, is human beings. The good character of the human beings is you know showing your humanness, showing your humanity. Because in animal world, there is there is a lots of the conflicts. The conflicts because of the fear, because of the controlling, because of you know the not being able to think like how human can think. But we are not the animals, we are the human beings. So what the human beings, you have to be think, you have to be wise, we have to question whenever any kind of wrong thoughts, any kind of hateful thoughts, any kind of jealousy thought, any kind of any anger thoughts arise in our minds. We need to be mindful about such a thought. We should acknowledge about that thoughts. Then we should know that, okay, if I continue this thought, this can be the dangers, this can be the harm, not only to myself, but the people around me. And then it can be hurt to the entire society. That's why we need to very careful, we need to very mindful, we need to be aware about whatever the thoughts, especially hateful thoughts, especially the thoughts that associate with enemies. And then we should end these enemy, the this kind of attitude with loving kindness. Now, why we should do it? Actually, we should practice loving kindness not only to the make other people happy, but yourself also. Because once you are happen to think always like others are wrong, others are these, there are the people who are the wrong. I mean, you can have a list of complaint about others, but the more you do, the more anxious, the more anxiety, the more the stress, the more the trembling is going in your mind, your daily life. So that is disturbing you to have a peaceful and a good life, a kind of satisfactory life in daily life. And if it is happening, if it is disturbing every day, it will happen you disturbing every week, and week become the month, month become the years, and year become the life. So then it seems like what you how you spend your human life is like complaining, looking for the fairness, looking for the problem, talking about others, talking about the enemies. Yes, we can do it, but there's no point. So that's why, in order to make yourself happy, free from such kind of anxiety, free from such kind of stress, free to make yourself free from such kind of suffering that related to such kind of thoughts, what you need to do is calm down, close your eye, reflect the thoughts, and be mindful. If you feel like, okay, these thoughts or these attitudes, or the my thought that that angry thought, hatred thoughts, or the thoughts that I'm thinking other people are wrong, or other people are my enemies, or these people are so bad. I mean, try to see the reality, try to show the compassion or kindness to them, not only to the minimize the gap between that person and you, but also make yourself happy and peaceful. So this is the way actually how we need to be done. Otherwise, there's no one who's going to be happy with such kind of thoughts. So that's why in the Dhammapada, Buddha said, Mano Pubbhangama Dhamma Mano Setta Mano Maya Manasase Pasannena Bhasati Va Karoti Va Tatonang Sukhamanveti Chayavanapayana. So what is this? This is the very first stanza that we can see in the Dhammapada. Now the meaning of this Dhammapada is, if somebody, okay, let me put a very very general way, very simple translation. If somebody think, do, think any thoughts, okay, say any verbal action or say anything, or do any physical action. So that means if a person think anything, do anything, okay, behave, say anything with a pure mind, the goodness, the energy, the power of that good deeds would follow like the shadow follow a person. So this is what the Dhammapada said. On the other hand, Buddha said in this Dhammapada, uh, if somebody says something with the impure mind, do something with the impure mind, and think something with the impure mind, the bad energy, the negative energy will destroy them, will be bring them a lot of suffering, like the wheels of the cart. So that's why need to be wise, need to be wise, not only to make others happy, but to make yourself happy. You happy, others happy, seeing that you also become happy. This is how swartha and parartha, that means the altruistic views, that is like uh, taking care of others and taking care of you. So taking care of both is the best way to create a peaceful society. So saying so, I would like to wind up my session. So I hope this is very important of you. And if you have any question regarding this, I would like to take them and try to give some feedbacks about it. So thank you very much.